Hi, my name is Kirill and I would like to show you how to convert SVG images into dynamic widgets for your projects. Let's go. I will use this pretty light bulb as an example. Our goal is to be able to change the color of this light bulb from WinCC Unified. Like many other vector drawings, this one consists of elements. We are going to change the color of this element. Its identifier is bgColor. We will need it later, when we bind the interface variable to a specific element. The only thing we need to do in Inkscape is the name of the vector graphics editor I use. Save in simplified SVG format. Go to File, Save As, and choose Plain SVG. Okay, this is where we are done and we can close Inkscape. Open our image with Visual Studio Code. Make preview visible. I'll tweak it a bit. Okay, we see here XML declaration string, comment from Adobe Illustrator and doctype string. We can simply delete it. WinCC don't need these lines. Also do auto formatting for easy reading. Our next step is modify SVG attributes. All we need from here is a viewBox attribute. Let's keep it here temporary. Now, with a clear conscience, you can remove all these SVG attributes. I have on the clipboard an example of the necessary attributes that are required for WinCC Unified. I took them as a sample from the Siemens component library. Inserted above the SVG line. This is the path to the folder where all Siemens dynamic widgets are stored. Replace viewBox attribute and remove the extra SVG element. A few words about what these attributes are. They are so-called namespaces. Each record defines one namespace: Xlink, HMI bind, and others. They are needed for WinCC parser to understand which fields to manage. We will use mostly HMI bind for changing element color, transparency, visibility, coordinates, and so on. Let's change our widget extension to SVGHMI right away. Our next step is to add an element that describes our widget. It must be in every widget and preferably at the beginning of the SVG file. It describes the name, type of widget, and stores the interface for WinCC. Here is how it looks like. HMI self, type widget, display name, light bulb, its name what we will see in WinCC widget library, name, extended light bulb, it's some system WinCC name, always the same as display name, version 100, for example, and the last attribute, performance class. I don't really know what does it mean. Close HMI self element, and inside HMI self element we should place interface variable. It's called HMI param def. Type default. Name. Which we will see in WinCC interface section. The color is set in ARGB format. The first byte is transparency channel and the following are RGB channels. Okay, let's add one last attribute, type of variable. HMI color, and close this element. Our next task is to redesign the styles from inline style to attribute style. A lot of vector graphics editors write element attributes such as color, stroke type, stroke color, and other in this form. It is called inline style. But WinCC doesn't understand this type of notation, and if we would try to add our widget to the project now, we will get some errors. So we will have to bring them to this way of notation, using the attributes. As you can see, every element has this attribute, and we have to modify them all. In another video, I will show you how you can cheat and make your life easier by changing them automatically if you don't want to follow this way. Okay, I'm going to speed up the video a little bit. Super, we are done. Now we can add our pretty bulb to WinCC Unified. The guys from Siemens made sure that users could add their own widgets. Thank them so much for that. To do this, you need to find a directory in the folder with the project, called user files, and create a folder inside it named SVG controls. Here it is necessary to place our widget. Open WinCC Unified. When we push the update button, here we should see project widget folder with our bulb. Great! Project graphics and our bulb inside. We can drag and drop it into the screen. Zoom it out. Do you remember we created a variable in the HMI self section? Here it is, basic color. But as you can see, the color of the bulb doesn't change. That's because we didn't tell WinCC which attribute to link it to. To make it clear that it is the same variable, I will change its name to color. Save document and update widgets. Look, WinCC saw that we changed the interface and warns that there may be incompatible changes. Go to Properties. Our interface variable changed to color. Good. Return to VS Code and change basic color. Our last task in this video is to bind the basic color variable to a specific element, so that we can change the color of the bulb with WinCC tools. This is our element to which we will change color. For this is responsible attribute fill. You can see I change the value of color and color of the bulb changes. To the attribute that we bind, we need to add the HMI bind colon fill. And the value should look like this. In double curly braces should be placed converter dot RGBA open brackets param props dot basic color. Save file and open WinCC. Refresh widgets successfully. Go to properties and try to change color. As you can see, it didn't work. The color didn't change. That's probably because of the widget hasn't actually updated. Now I will try to remove it from the screen and add it again. If this doesn't work, which it might, I'll have to close the TiaPortal and reopen the project. Also, it's better to close current screen. Open. Refresh widgets. Drag and drop. Great, you see it's already gray by default, like we set it up before. Let's try to change the color. Great, everything is working out. And the last step is to try to change the color in runtime. I'll speed up the video a little bit. Well, we have succeeded in converting a simple image from SVG to SVGHMI widget. But the thing is that really beautiful and complex images are harder to convert into widgets, because WinCC Unified imposes some restrictions on them. For example, gradients. When you convert an image with gradients, unique features are revealed. There are quite a few of them, so I decided to record a separate video with it, where I will try to talk about it in detail. And now, if you like this video and it was useful for you, then you can support me and like it and subscribe to my channel, so that I know that it is worth continue. Thank you.